Welcome back into another episode of TDN Daily. It is Thursday, August 11th. I'm Carmen Vitali, senior NFL reporter for the Draft Network, and I am here in Tampa, Florida. I was able to go to Bucs Dolphins joint practices yesterday, where there was a little bit of news coming out about some further injuries, both of which have scared everyone around the Tampa Bay community, but both of which seem now a little bit more minor. So very early on in practice, Russell Gage pulled up in 7-on-7 drills, and I watched him walk off the field, at least under his own power, but kind of with a limp. It is thought to be a hamstring injury, but it is also thought to be minor. They will be cautious with him, just given the nature of those injuries and how it's not worth pushing it right now in the preseason. And the biggest scare probably came later in practice. It was the last team period, and Robert Hainsey ended up going down and being carted off. It was so reminiscent of the Jensen injury, which I was not here for, but I was here. It just deflated the entire practice. Everyone was very concerned. Turns out it was just cramps. It is really hot here in Florida. This is no joke. And this is especially the first time that these guys are going against another opponent that is not themselves. So there's a little bit extra juice. The practice was chippy all day yesterday. You could tell that these guys were ready to hit some people that weren't their own teammates. And so when that happens, you're exerting a little bit more energy. And turns out Robert was just a little bit dehydrated. So he is fine. We'll see if he's back at practice today. Again, there's probably going to be some guys held out, especially today. And going into the preseason opener, the Bucs have already said that Tom Brady will not play the preseason opener on Saturday against the Dolphins. I would suspect, too, that a lot of the starters will not play, just given the continuity on this team. We'll see about how the offensive line is kind of solidified right now from what I saw yesterday. It was Hainsey's got that center job, and then that left guard job is still a little bit in rotation with Aaron Stinney actually is probably the one taking the most reps. So with the first team, but we'll see how that plays out. Otherwise, the rest of the line is solidified. You've got Shaq Mason at right guard, Tristan Wirfs at right tackle, Donovan Smith at left tackle. Those two bookends have been lights out for these guys the last couple of years. So at least they have the continuity on that. The receiver room, while it will miss Russell Gage, is really stacked. And you have Mike Evans being held out, though, for also a hamstring injury. Chris Godwin is still working his way back from an ACL injury, but he has taken steps in practice where he's running in a straight line. He's doing some individual drills. It's a little bit ahead of schedule for Chris Godwin, which is really great news, but he's still a little far off from seeing any game action. So, but that being said, we got some guys stepping up. Scotty Miller had a few great catches yesterday. I mean, Julio Jones was definitely still the star. He looks as good as ever. Seeing him connect with Brady on a long pass that would have ended up in a touchdown down the far sideline yesterday was beautiful, but it was also super weird still. Like, to see Tom Brady throwing to Julio Jones, it's just, you would have said that 5 years ago, and I think people would have called you crazy. So it's been a very interesting camp with the Dolphins so far. We've got one more day of it today, and then we'll check back in with you tomorrow. I'm Carmen Vitali. Thanks for watching TDN Daily.